Hello, welcome again. Thank you for enjoying our management style here in HR. We're going to talk about a topic that's very important to HR and to any organization, and that is promoting safety and health. So, here's what we're going to look at. First of all, we're going to learn about the general provisions of the OSHA Act. We're going to learn the measures that management employees can take to create a safe work environment. We're going to identify the ways to control and eliminate various health hazards in the workplace. And we're going to learn about the ways for coping with job-related stress. So what are the general provisions of OSHA? It's a quote. To assure the safety and health of America's workers by setting and enforcing standards, providing training, outreach, and education, establishing partnerships, and encouraging continual improvements in workplace safety and health. The standards, they apply to general industry, maritime, construction, and agriculture, and they cover the workplace machinery and equipment, material, power sources, the processing equipment, protective clothing, first aid, and all administrative requirements. Who is responsible then for the enforcement of OSHA? Secretary of Labor is authorized by the Act to conduct workplace inspections, issue citations, and impose penalties on employers who violate. Inspections are conducted by the Occupational Safety and Health Administration from the Department of Labor. Workplace inspections, citations and penalties, on-site consultations, voluntary protection programs, training and education. All of that is part of OSHA's job description. Their inspection policy's first level is inspection of imminent danger situations. A second level would be investigations of catastrophes, facilities, and accidents that result in hospitalization of 5 or more employees. Third level is investigation of valid employee claims of alleged violations of standards or unsafe or unhealthy working conditions. And the fourth level is special emphasis inspections aimed at specific high hazard industries, occupations, or substances that are injurious to health. Citations and penalties other than serious. Violation has a direct relationship to job safety and health, but one unlikely to cause death or serious physical harm, can be imposed a penalty of up to $7,000 for each violation. Serious one is a violation where there is substantial probability that death or serious physical harm could result, and the employer knew or should have known of the hazard. Again, OSHA may propose a mandatory penalty of up to $7,000 per violation. And a violation that the employer intentionally and knowingly commits, or a violation that the employer commits with plain indifference to the law. OSHA may provide penalties up to $70,000 for each violation. So what is the incidence rate? It's the number of injuries and illnesses per 100 full-time employees during a given year, where 200,000 equals the base for 100 full-time employees who work 40 hours a week, 50 weeks a year. So the incident rate is the number of injuries and illnesses times 200,000 divided by the total hours worked by employees during the period covered. Promoting safety awareness is the key role of the supervisor, communicating the need for everyone to work safely. Proactive company safety training program is a must. First aid, defensive driving, accident prevention techniques, especially hazardous materials, and emergency procedures should be part of a training document. Typical safety rules: use proper safety devices, using proper work procedures, following good housekeeping practices, complying with accident and injury reporting procedures, and wearing safety clothing and equipment. And obviously, avoid carelessness and horseplay. Ways to involve engaged employees in a company safety program is to jointly set safety standards with managers, have employees participate in safety training, employees help design and implement special safety training programs, The company should establish safety incentives and rewards and be involved in accident investigations. A recordable case is any occupational death, illness, or injury is to be recorded in the OSHA Form 300 log. Recordable accidents include death, days away from work, restricted work or transfer to another job, or medical treatment beyond first aid. Other problems include loss of consciousness or diagnosis of a significant injury or illness by a healthcare professional. Workplace violence. Yes, OSHA covers that too. And it means any physical assault, threatening behavior, or verbal abuse occurring in the work setting, including, but not limited to, beatings, stabbings, suicides, shootings, rapes, near suicides, any psychological trauma such as threat, obscene phone calls, an intimidating presence, or harassment of any nature, such as being followed, sworn at, or shouted at. Recordable accidents include death, days away from work, restricted work, or transfer to another job, and again, medical treatment beyond first aid. According to OSHA, more than 2 million non-fatal workplace violence incidents are reported annually in the form of assaults, robberies, theft, hostage-taking, hijackings, rapes, and sexual attacks. Do you know how to recognize a dangerous situation? Do you know how to handle or diffuse an irate worker? Something you should be aware of and have some kind of procedures in place for. Know the warning signs. And I'm going to leave this list here, but you can see some of them are like insubordination, severe reaction to criticism, substance abuse, violence against a family member or fellow worker, and the list goes on. And I'll give you a moment to study this. Again, you may pause this to read these all in depth. To reduce violence in the workplace, management commitment to employee involvement in preventing acts of violence include analyzing the workplace to uncover areas of potential violence, preventing and controlling violence by designing safe workplaces and work practices, providing violence prevention training throughout the organization, and evaluating violence program effectiveness. You should have a program, but if you do, you should also evaluate how effective it is. Safety hazards and issues. Workplace emergencies could consist of floods, hurricanes, tornadoes, fire, chemical spill, civil disturbance, and terrorism, and the like. OSHA requires company to have an emergency exit plan to deal with any of those incidents listed above. Crisis management teams are composed of hourly and managerial employees. They work in conjunction with HR to conduct initial risk assessment surveys, develop emergency action plans for the what-if scenarios, perform crisis intervention during emergency events. Building better physical and emotional health among employees, have wellness and weight issues, avoid job stress and burnout. There's high demand, high effort, low control, low reward. Look at those situations to see how you can overcome them. Depression, alcoholism, drug abuse. Stop stressing, start living. Protect your employees. Have a program in place. Tips to reduce job-related stress. Build rewarding relationships with your coworkers. Talk openly with managers and employees about your job or personal concerns. The list continues. And I leave this here again for you to read for a moment. Once again, you may pause this to read the entire list. If you have any further questions about OSHA requirements, we recommend you visit the OSHA website. It defines all the rules and regulations and what OSHA does to help your organization prepare for a better and safer workplace. Thank you for watching, and we hope you continue to learn more here.